Welcome to the Real L's podcast. If you want to grow, learn, and elevate, you're in the right place. Let's get into the conversation.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Real L's podcast. I'm your host, Ray Hendricks, aka Coach Ray Hendricks, founder of Men of Tempered Strength. Now, today we're talking about something that a lot of people think about, a lot of people experience, but not enough people talk about honestly. Now, today's episode is called Recreational Women versus Marital Women. Now, before everybody gets all emotional in the comments, let me just say this up front. This episode is not about disrespecting women. It's not about women bashing, bitterness, or anything like that. This is about discernment and maturity. So this episode is about understanding the difference between temporary connections and long-term compatibility. Now, everybody you date is not supposed to become your spouse. Some people are lessons, some are seasons, and some are reflections of where you are mentally and emotionally at the time. Now, if we're being honest, a lot of us have confused chemistry with compatibility. Just because somebody excites you doesn't mean that they're aligned with your future. Now, the problem with modern dating, we got to get into that. One thing that I've learned and noticed in modern dating is people are choosing relationships based on feelings instead of foundation. People are dating off of, let's say, attraction, loneliness, attention, ego, validation, fear of being alone, instead of asking real questions like, is this person emotionally stable? Are they disciplined? Are they intentional? Can they communicate? Can they build? Can they handle adversity? And do they bring peace or confusion? Now, because of a lot of that, a lot of people keep ending up in cycles instead of partnerships. Now, the problem with that is we end up looking for what looks good instead of looking at what's good for us. And a lot of men, we don't really ask ourselves, can this person endure the long term with us? What do we actually get out of dating this person? Because unfortunately, dating nowadays, we're actually looking at what we get, and women are actually looking at what they get. And, a lot of times in society, we're not told to look from our side and see what we actually benefit, but we actually need to start doing that. We definitely do. Now, what I'm going to get into right now is what is a recreational woman? So let's talk about it. A recreational woman is not necessarily a bad woman. Let me say that again. A recreational woman is not automatically a bad person. Sometimes people simply are not in the season for commitment. But recreational energy is usually connected to temporary thinking. This is the type of woman who may enjoy attention more than connection, enjoy access more than accountability, or enjoy excitement more than stability. And fellas, if you're not paying attention, you will mistake attraction for alignment every single time. Now, here's some signs for you. So sign number one is she loves attention more than she loves connection. Now, some women feed off of validation constantly. They need compliments constantly, attention constantly, backup options constantly. Now, the problem with that is when attention becomes somebody's emotional fuel, they usually struggle with consistency and loyalty because they're addicted to being desired more than actually being connected. Now, sign number two is emotional inconsistency. One week, everything's amazing. It's going great. The next week, she's distant, cold, confusing, hard to communicate with. And, conflict becomes chaos instead of conversion, conversation. And one thing I've learned is this: emotionally mature people communicate through problems. Emotionally immature people disappear during problems. That goes for men and women. Now, the sign number 3, she wants the benefit without building. Now, this one is huge. What she wants is your attention, your protection, your emotional support, your leadership, your money, your time, but avoid sacrifice, accountability, consistency, or teamwork. Now, relationships can't survive when one person wants luxury, but not responsibility. That's not partnership. That's actually called consumption. Now, we're going to look at sign number 4. Sign number 4 is chaos follows her everywhere. So every story is drama. Every ex was crazy. Every friendship ended badly. Every situation somehow becomes toxic. At some point, you have to stop asking, why does chaos keep finding her? And start asking, why does she keep creating chaos? Now, some people mistake emotional instability for passion. Peace feels boring to them because dysfunction is familiar. Now, what we're going to look at now, fellas, now let me tell you something honestly. A lot of men are not dating for peace. They're dating for ego, validation, and also based on looks alone. They're dating based on temporary excitement. Then later, they're shocked when the relationship has no structure. Now, the thing about it is, when we're looking at certain situations and looking at the relationship not having structure, it's because you didn't have an intention behind it in the first place. And when you date without intention, which I've done and plenty of you have done, we don't set up structure for the relationship. We go with the flow. We go with what feels good. And a lot of times you end up in recreational situations. So what I'm going to jump into now is looking at what a marital woman is. Now we're going to flip the conversation a little bit. A marital woman is not perfect. She's intentional. She understands these things: partnership, communication, consistency, emotional control, sacrifice, teamwork, long-term thinking. And one thing about a woman that's truly built for partnership, peace follows her. Not perfection, peace. Now we're going to look at the signs of a marital woman. Sign number 1, she communicates through problems. She doesn't shut down every time conflict happens. She talks, she listens, she works through issues. And that right there, it matters a lot because communication is one of the biggest indicators of emotional maturity. A relationship cannot survive if every disagreement turns into emotional warfare. Sign number 2, she respects stability. She values structure. She respects discipline. She respects growth. She respects consistency. She's not addicted to drama. And one thing that I've learned is healthy people don't need chaos to feel alive. Not at all. What they thrive in is peace. Sign number 3, she protects the relationship. Now, everybody doesn't need access to your relationship. A woman that values partnership understands boundaries. She's not consistently entertaining unnecessary attention. She's not exposing relationship business online every time emotions rise. And also, she understands some things should be protected, not performed. Sign 4, she builds with you. So she encourages growth. She pours into you while also growing herself. And fellas, hear me carefully. A real partner does not distract you from your purpose. They strengthen your ability to pursue it. Now, we got to look at that. Now, you can see the clear differences between recreational woman and a marriage-minded or marital woman. Now, personal accountability is one thing that I'm really, really, really big on. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to hold myself accountable too. Now, I don't want to sit here and act like I've always made perfect decisions. I have not. There were many times in my life where I fumbled a good woman. There were women that brought peace, honesty, emotional maturity, structure, loyalty. And because I wasn't fully mature yet myself, I couldn't really recognize their value properly. Sometimes we blame people for not fitting into our future when we weren't ready for the future ourselves. Now, that's as real as I could be with you guys. Now, there were times that I was operating from ego, validation, emotional immaturity, selfishness, unresolved trauma. And when you move like that, you can sabotage healthy relationships without even realizing. A lot of people don't lose good partners because those partners were bad. They lose them because timing was wrong, healing hadn't happened, discipline was missing, or maturity hadn't fully developed yet. That's why self-awareness matters. Because if you are still recreational emotionally, then you will keep mishandling marital people. Now, I have to tell you guys some questions that you should ask yourself as a man. Now, before committing to somebody, ask yourself these questions. Does this woman bring me peace or confusion? How does she handle conflict? Does she respect boundaries? Can she communicate? Does she support growth? Is she emotionally disciplined? Is she building with me or distracting me? Is this relationship helping me evolve or draining me mentally? Because attraction alone is not enough to sustain a future. Just going to tell you that right now. Now, at the end of the day, everybody you date is not meant to become your spouse. Some people are lessons, some people are healing seasons, and some people are just reflections of your own immaturity. But if you don't develop discernment, you'll keep calling dysfunction love just because it feels intense. And listen, ladies, don't think I forgot about y'all either, because in the next episode, we're going to go ahead and flip the mirror, and we're going to talk about intentional men versus players. Now, the players are the temporary men. And when they're temporary, those are men who waste women's time. Because just like men need discernment, women actually need discernment too. So this has been the Real L's podcast. I'm Coach Ray Hendricks. Make sure that you like, subscribe, share this episode, and also follow the movement. www.menoftemperedstrength.com. You can also get some gear over at houseoftemperedstrength.com. And also my books are available on Lulu. You can also get to them from the website. So just to let y'all know, Men of Tempered Strength is not motivation. This is formation. Salute, Master Builders.